Were you awake to all this stuff when you got out of high school and joined the military and then went to college? I mean, when did you wake up?
I actually woke up to it in a weird way because I had studied pharmaceuticals and everything, and I was kind of brainwashed into calling everybody else a quack until I met somebody. Originally, I wanted to be a medical doctor and be a heart surgeon. That was my dream, and that's what I was studying, and I was brainwashed. I met a guy that was treating cancer naturally, and we kind of got into a little argument. You know, I was brainwashed to think that natural medicine was all quackery and stuff like that, and he looked at me. He said he knew I had a background in chemistry and biochemistry, and he said, fine, I'm not going to argue with you. Pick any prescription drug you want and tell me how that does any good on the body. I said, all right, that's not a problem at all. I mean, we wouldn't have prescription drugs if they weren't good for us. So I went to the library, brought out all the biochemical books, chemical books, took a couple prescription medications, broke them down chemistry-wise, looked at how they work on the body, and in about 2 hours, that was my wake-up call. That's when just like everything opened up. I saw it. I had like a vision, and I saw the damage that was being done worldwide with pharmaceuticals, that they're not designed to do anything but cover up a symptom, cause a malfunction.
Can you talk about your dad on air and the bisphenol A?
Yeah, I can talk about my dad on air, sure.
Tell people briefly about him.
Well, my dad was a chemist. He was one of the top chemists for Exxon, actually, and he did his dissertation for his PhD.
Yeah, we looked him up. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, he was a co-inventor of Saran wrap, and he was like the leading guy and the leading chemist on plastics. I mean, he was the one that was going around teaching and lecturing about how plasticizers, epoxy resins, anything that had to do with plastics. He actually worked for the government. I don't know what he was doing when the Reagan administration. I know he was involved with the drug war, putting something in the chemicals they were using to make cocaine with. And recently, I know when he died, it was a very fast death. And I was always wondering, because I remember a group of people that like all these guys showed up at my mom's house with these documents and like forcing her to sign this stuff. And he was dead within, like he had throat cancer and spinal cancer, and he was dead within 2 weeks. And I was like, how does that happen? You know? And at that point in time, they just offered her a bunch of money. My mom, it wasn't a bunch of money. I think it was like $120,000 or something like that. She signed up off all these documents. All of his records were sealed. In other words, through Exxon, nobody could get access to him. I found out only about 6 months ago that he was about to go public right before he died with reversing all of his original research. Because this whole time I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe my dad was involved in plastics, and now I'm trying to clean up all this stuff. It's really weird how that works. But I just found out that he was about to publish a bunch of reports on the damaging effects of plastics, and he was involved with some research at some agency, and they were finding that these plastic compounds they were developing were causing cancer in animals, and it was probably one of the most toxic for humanity, for the environment, and for humanity. And he was about to go public with this research, and then, I think he was killed off. And that's the story of my dad. And, now we're talking about all the toxic, effects of plastics everywhere. We talked about water. We're about to
look at how they put plasticizers in the bread illegally. It's illegal everywhere else.
Yes, it's illegal everywhere else, and now, now that Subway came out and said that they're going to actually take it out in the United States. But we're talking about food. That is health secret number 3, which is eat clean food. I mean, we know the food is contaminated. It's another eugenics system. The food is being man-made. It's genetically modified, which causes the Bt toxin to be produced in the human gut, which burns holes through the intestinal lining, which leads to all kinds of allergies, leads to all kinds of other problems in the system. You have pesticides in foods, insecticides in food. You have dead food. I mean, we're actually herbivores in nature. We're not really carnivorous. We've kind of, evolved into that, but a carnivorous animal has canine teeth to rip and chew flesh. We don't. Secretes hydrochloric acid in its mouth. We don't. Has a pipe-like digestive system. We don't. And, if you look at a carnivorous animal...
We're not even really omnivores.
No, we're herbivorous in nature, and we're designed to, we don't have a pipe-like digestive system, and we're supposed to eat more live fruits, vegetables, and stuff like that. But we've been conditioned to not do that and to eat all these toxic chemical-ridden foods. Now with meat having all the hormones injected in them, it takes 3 years to get a calf ready. 1 year instead of 3 years to get a calf ready. The containment, there's 500,000 cattle, butchered, every week, I think, something like that. The point of the matter is, it's very simple. The way that we change everything in society is we just don't buy it. If you don't buy the chemicals, household cleaners, then they go out of business. If you don't buy the toxic foods, they go out of business. You force them into producing organic things. I mean, the demand for organic foods, the demand to not sell foods that are genetically modified.
It's a model of success for everything else.
Yeah, we're actually starting to see it work. I mean, just look what happened with the Subway thing with the plasticizers in the bread, the petition that the Food Babe did. Now
we launched that on this show.
Exactly. Now all of a sudden they came out and they're taking it out. It takes that grassroots effort from everybody to step forward and to not support these chemical, the industrial complex, the medical industrial complex with pharmaceuticals and everything else. And we're seeing that people are turning away also from the prescription drugs too, and they're looking for natural alternatives, especially with this Obamacare disaster that's coming in. So my solution is, as far as the health secret number 3, which is eat clean foods, is avoid GMOs. The best way to do that is to avoid anything that has corn and soy in it, of course, because that's also going to be, the soy is going to be another estrogen disruptor. And to go organic, eat organic. If you can't afford organic, go to your local farmers markets. I mean, every city has one.
Well, people are buying so much organic, it's going down in price now as it creates a market. Now, moving right along to number 4, reduce your stress levels. Boy, this is one I could follow.
Yeah, I mean, this is a health secret number 4, which is one of the things that I think is so damaging, because when you look at, a lot of people walk around. There's so many people on antidepressants now. Kids are being put on ADHD drugs right now. They're thinking that it's just some weird thing that people are born with that's created.
I guarantee you, if this continues, it'll be a conspiracy soon that everyone wasn't always on it. It'll be like, I heard people didn't used to all be on this. That's a lie. That's the criminal, the evil terrorist says that.
We remember a day when there wasn't people on anti-anxiety, ADHD drugs, or I remember a day when there wasn't any such thing as ADD, ADHD, which are all created to sell you.
They put us in an artificial environment, the bad food, the dyes. People start freaking out. Their answer is, here's these drugs that on record for most people make it worse and are incredibly toxic.
Well, here's what causes depression and stress and anxiety and ADD and ADHD. What causes it is the electromagnetic frequencies, the radiation people are exposed to through cell phones, through cell phone towers everywhere, the chemicals in the food, the chemicals in the water, the chemicals in the air. They're all neurological degradation compounds. They're excitotoxins. They either excite the nerves. I mean, if you put a drop of aluminum and mercury on a nerve tissue in the brain,
kills it.
You can see how fast it completely fries it and denatures it. So,
hey guys, pull up mercury in brain cell, University of Calgary. It'll come up. It's on YouTube. Just mercury brain cells video. Go ahead.
So it's not that people are suffering from depression and anxiety and AD, all these mental disorders. It's the fact that they're being caused by all these chemicals and toxins and everything else.
Which they know. I mean, you go to public school, it's Twinkies, Cokes. You're going to have a sugar crash. You're going to bounce off the walls. It's like if I gave my kids that stuff. I take them to a birthday party. This only time they're bad is after a piece of cake. They act like demons.
Right. I mean, so another thing with cleaning up your food is don't drink high fructose corn syrup, or don't eat it. Avoid the artificial dyes, the artificial colors. Avoid the white flour, which has bromine in it instead of iodine, which it used to have in there. Avoid gluten.
And folks, you're going to find when you've been on this bad stuff for a while, as soon as you start eating regular, real food, it's almost weird, and you're kind of like, because the poisons are addictive. But as you start to phase it out, which I've slowly done, my problem is I work too much, don't sleep. I mean, it's crazy, but I'm reversing so much of it, and it's amazing.
Well, that is the solution to, and the more people that actually do that, the more people that become awake. You know, you talk about increasing the consciousness, and eliminating the amount of toxins on a regular basis is what increases the consciousness.
Watch what mercury does on that TV screen of your TV viewer. They put mercury into the solution, and then it just hammers it down and kills it.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.
Briefly, tell folks why Super Male Vitality is so different. People should take the challenge and get a bottle of it and try it and see what it does. Women can take it as well, as you've said, and break down what these organic, purified, concentrated herbs do. Because last time you were on, you talked about the estrogen stuff. This is a way to block that out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the fact of the matter is we're living in an estrogen-dominant society, and I wanted to give back to the men out there and help balance the women as well, because, I mean, there's so many estrogen mimickers. There's so many things that decrease the amount of testosterone, growth hormone, DHEA in men and women, and there's really nothing out there that's natural. I mean, now the big push for HRT is pharmaceutical-based because they want everybody on testosterone.
Yeah, they take our hormones away, and then we have to go buy them back.
Yeah, I mean, who knows where those hormones are coming from anyway? And it's not good to put the hormone in the body, because then your body stops producing it if you keep it in there for a period of time.
That's right. These herbs that you put together, you were saying, just makes the glands naturally turn back on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the whole purpose of it. What I wanted to do is bring together some rare herbs in a powerful therapeutic dosage to naturally stimulate and balance the hormone production, the natural hormone production in males and females. So that's what it was designed to do. And with the technology that we have, with the nanotechnology and the extraction mechanism that we have, to where we can extract 98% of the herb material, and we can use that in a synergistic or a balanced approach and concentrate it, you know, you're going to get almost the equivalent of a pharmaceutical, but a natural product, which is made with organic stuff, which is not going to harm you over a period of time.
Man, I tell you, the three products you helped us develop, we tracked down the coffee after years ourselves in Mexico, that are InfoWarsLife.com. I mean, it's just nothing but positive reviews. I mean, and I've promoted other supplements that are great as well, InfoWarsHealth.com. They're wonderful. But, I mean, I've never seen anything like this with InfoWarsLife.com. I mean, the stuff you helped us put together, it's phenomenal. Because I did a lot of research, you know, what is the best? What is the best? What is the best? And I took the proprietary blends before they were mass-produced myself. I was like, whoa. Like you said, I had the detox the first month with the iodine. I'd take another iodine, didn't do this. Other iodine hurt my stomach, made me hurt when I peed. This doesn't do that. I mean, how do you come up with all this? It's just...
Well, first of all, I don't produce anything unless I would take it myself, and I use it myself, and I test it on myself, and it takes a long time. I mean, the Super Male Vitality was something I was working on for 7 years. It just so happens that you came along, and at the same culmination of we're having all this feminism, and we're having all these problems and this with hormones and functioning hormones. There's just no solution out there. So it was more, let's see if we can put this thing together, and with the R&D behind it, and see if we can make something that actually works, that we can...
Because we were talking about this almost a year ago, and it took just a few months ago and then months to get it produced, and then the right herb didn't come in from the Himalayas. It just goes on, but we finally got it.
Yeah, whenever I develop products, I want to make sure they're the best in the world, guaranteed. And
you use the raw herbs, not dried, when you can.
I use everything that's non-irradiated. We'll go, you know, check out where it's grown, do microbial screening on it, make sure it's pure, make sure the constituents are at their highest level. We even check all the raw materials with Geiger counters when they come in, just to make sure they're not contaminated.
And by the way, you've got your own incredible laboratories and factories in New Mexico and here in Texas, but what's even in Arizona, but what's even more incredible is that it's so powerful compared to other stuff I've taken. And it's my product, so I'm just so honored to be working with you. Folks, 15% off, limited time on Super Male Vitality, InfoWarsLife.com. Try it, get a bottle. Regardless, you'll be supporting the transmission. Then we're going to run this special for 2 weeks, InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gates, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139. Dr. Ed Groups here. Truth is, the globalists have stolen everything under the sun. They've totally taken over with fraud and derivatives. They want to keep it all while making us poor to control us, while poisoning us. They're just a bunch of jerks. And, you know, we try to do what we can do here. Getting into, so eat clean foods. Let's hurriedly hit, okay, we hit reduce your stress levels. What about secret number 5, cleanse your body and environment? This is the big one.
Yeah, it is the big one. I mean, we didn't give the solutions for the stress levels. I mean, one of the best ways to reduce your stress levels is actually bringing yourself from a sympathetic state into a parasympathetic state. Parasympathetic state is when your body's calm and not in a high level of stress. Everything is designed to keep you in high level of stress, whether it's media driven, whether it's chemical driven, anything. They want you stressed out because they know when you're stressed, your body goes into a stressful situation, and your immune system is immediately dropped by 50% when you're in a state of stress. You know, you have a hard time having bowel movements, and if you can't have bowel movements, as a matter of fact, the average person out there has 2 bowel movements a week. That's because they're so stressed out all the time. So 9 deep breaths is the fastest way.
I heard Hillary's never had a bowel movement. That's why she looks like a Jabba the Hutt stuffed with dead rats.
I tell you what, if you look at everybody in Washington, I don't think anyone's had a bowel movement in a long time up there unless they have some secret compound that they're using. But, I mean, the fact is you don't want that stress to affect you because stress is one of the initiators of disease to cause you to have these situations.
So you want to
go into the doctor's office for your stress, and then you're getting on all the
key is goblin power.
The key is meditation power. The key is reducing your stress power, taking some time for yourself, learning how to, instead of living in fear, anxiety, jealousy, resentment.
Well, what do you call the stress, though, where I get into fighting the enemy and get all excited and run around in circles?
There's 2 types of stress. There's distress and there's eustress. Eustress is good stress, because there is good stress, and distress is bad stress. If it affects you negatively, like your body, your biochemistry negatively, then it's distressed, it's bad. But you can get excited about something just like I'm excited about talking about this right here with you today. That's eustress, that's good stress. People thrive on that. I mean, that's what gives you the...
We're almost out of time.
You can wake up.
We got to hit the cleanse your body.
Okay, health secret number 5, keep the inside of your body clean on a regular basis. I mean, the
Bible says keep your temple clean.
Look, you can get any text from thousands and thousands of years ago, any society, and there's always cleansing. There was fasting. People would fast for a certain amount of times. People would go on water fast. People would always cleanse the inside of their body. The earth cleanses itself on a regular basis. You wash the outside of your body when you take a shower every day, but what are you doing for the inside of your body? All this stuff builds up and builds up and builds up over time.
That's where the fluoride shield comes in.
That's when the fluoride shield comes in. That's when the survival shield comes in. That's where all the health...
But like you said, exercising, steaming, and then you've also developed the proprietary oxygen tablets.
Like intestinal cleansing on a regular basis, liver and gallbladder cleansing, parasite cleansing, which we haven't even talked about, chemical and heavy metal cleansing. I mean, there's stuff out there that you can find online, but the whole purpose is that you know that the health secret number 5 is not only keeping the inside of your body clean, but also keeping your environment clean. And we talked about that with the air purification, the water, the inside of your house. Anything that you buy, look at it and say, is this something that's toxic? Do I understand what these ingredients are? And then switch from chemical toxic ingredients over to natural, non-toxic.
And it's a process. Nobody's perfect. It's taken me years to try to pull out of this, but it's getting better and better.
you start climbing up the stairs of health, even if you're going up one stair at a time, instead of staying still or going down. See, 90% of the people out there, every single day, they go down one step to a poorer health. What I'm talking about is start going up one step every single day.
Great job, Dr. Group. Thanks for driving in from South Texas out there at your ranch. And thanks for doing the talks for the InfoWars Nightly News. It's coming up tonight, 7 o'clock. Great job, Dr. Green Beret.
Happy birthday, too.
Thank you, buddy. That's it for the Big 4-0 transmission.
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at Infowars.com/show.
The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other members of the fluorine family that are added to Western water supplies are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the people that drink it. So the question is, why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple. Dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We developed Fluoride Shield to be the highest quality, highest standards because I use it every day and my family uses it every single day. Let's take a closer look at the ingredients that make up this special proprietary formula. Tamarind has been celebrated for its ability to immobilize toxic fluoride residues, while zeolites have a long history of attracting and holding toxic compounds. Enter fulvic acid, an excellent cleansing agent. Then we added the highest quality shilajit, a rare compound that is collected from the high mountains of the Himalayas. We topped it all off with the powerhouse herb cilantro that is intended to mobilize fluoride and other dangerous compounds for removal from the body. And the final touch to energize this formula is our proprietary nascent iodine. And as always, consult your physician as well because that is important. And finally, Fluoride Shield, Survival Shield, and all the products at InfoWarsLife.com grew out of my quest to try to find the very best compounds from God's cornucopia to protect myself and my family. And from our research, I believe we are bringing you the best, highest quality products. And you have that commitment from Alex Jones and the entire InfoWars crew.